going on? How's everyone doing?
Shout out to Colin. Everybody else who's cool with Colin.
Chunky! I didn't say.
Eat your popcorn and your Coca-Cola and relax.
Anyway, tell Colin I'm ready.
What's going on? This is Colin. How's everybody doing? I hope you guys are having a great day so far. Happy Sunday. It is Sunday, and yes, I am live really early today. Bengals play at 8 o'clock tonight, so I don't want to miss the game. So I'm going a little early today. And it gives me a chance to raid Biggin. I never get to raid Biggin, so we're going to raid Biggin after this. Okay, you guys ready to watch some court? I want to watch some court. We're starting off with a clip from Judge Simpson's court. Now, this was about 2 weeks ago. Everything in this video is going to be a little older. You know, it's the weekend. Not a lot going on the weekend, so generally the clips are older. Okay, you guys ready? Before I hit that play button, you know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe. Do your jump kick backflips. Let's go.
All right, the court will call the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Tyrell Henderson, case number 24S00045. Richard McDuffie for the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Matthew Mansour, Assistant Public Defender.
Good morning, Mr. Mansour.
Good morning.
Mr. Henderson, could you state your name for us, please?
Tyrell Henderson, Your Honor.
Oh, Mr. Mansour, I'm not going to take this out on you, but I am not happy. It's not your fault, but I don't understand how we could be here on August 15th when we know that there's a conflict. We have a trial. I order that costs are assessed in this case, and the conflict doesn't come in until the morning of the pretrial that has been set. A whole month later. Not only that, but it was mentioned again during another court docket because we were concerned that it hadn't come in, and I was assured by, not you because you weren't here, I believe, I don't remember exactly who it was, but I'm sure Ms. McDuffie may have written it down because she does that kind of thing.
It was Ms. White. I reminded her.
Ms. White assured me that this would be done by timely. We have an individual who's sitting in custody waiting because of this, or is he being held on anything else?
He is being held on another matter, Your Honor.
Thank goodness. Not that thank goodness you are, but thank goodness this is the only thing. Because this is I don't understand this. I don't understand how one simple thing, just getting a new attorney appointed, can't be handled. I don't understand that. Not at you, Mr. Mansour, just in general. This makes absolutely no sense. It only requires letting one person know that we need to have an attorney appointed.
Your Honor,
All right, so what I think happened is Ms. White was the public defender. They had a conflict, so they had to file out and get a new attorney appointed. But that did not happen. It did not take place. So this defendant has been in jail without an attorney. That's why Judge Washington is upset about this. Now, he is being held on something else, which is what, you know, they were just kind of giggling about. But it's a big deal. I understand why Judge Washington's upset. And to be honest, I haven't seen Miss White in Judge Washington's court in a while. I saw a couple rumors in the chat saying that she may have been fired. I don't like it when chat starts rumors like that, but she hasn't been around. So I don't know.
I do want to thank Mr. Mansour because he reached out to me not having any of this history, which is also sort of concerning.
I think you're frozen. She's definitely frozen. Ms. Moeller, is there something you wanted to say, or I see you popped on?
No, not really, Your Honor. Just that we caught this last night. I don't know either why the conflict email wasn't sent. Like you said, it's a very straightforward process. It should be a speedy process. So I know Mr. Mansour did everything he could when he noticed to try to address it, but I hope it doesn't come up again.
Mr. Mansour always does. That's why I said this is not about Mr. Mansour, but you know, the reality is we have an individual who is Ms. McDuffie. You froze, so we didn't hear all that.
I'm so sorry. I got kicked out of Zoom. But I was just saying that he reached out because he's not having any of the background on this case. And that was just yesterday evening, very late yesterday evening. And it looks like we got that email within an hour, which shows just how easy it was. So I just wanted to thank him for following up immediately. And we got that. Obviously, Ms. Julian, who was appointed, is not going to be able to appear today on this matter. We'll make sure she gets everything. But that just shows how easy it was. But I thank him for jumping on that right away.
Good morning, Mr. Henderson.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Is there anything you'd like to say, sir?
No.
So your new attorney is going to be Miss Erica Julian. That's who got appointed for you this morning. Okay. So she'll come and see you. I'm going to put it over for 1 week to next week. Okay. And hopefully we can move forward with your matter. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Court date will be on October 3rd at 9 o'clock a.m.
I may have inadvertently started that rumor. Speaking of not starting rumors, I didn't say she was going to be in his court. I said that maybe that's where she's moving to, because the day that I heard that she's no longer in Judge Washington's court, she was in Judge Simpson's court all day. So, and that's all I said. And I think I said I hope that she's moving back to Judge Simpson's court, because she was in Judge Simpson's court for a while before she went to Judge Washington. So I was just saying I hope so, but I have no idea where she's going. All right. That was the first one. Yeah, I already forgot the order of my clips today. I already forgot. I think we're doing the Judge Middleton one now. Yeah, this one's just weird. This one's weird. Again, another old one, but this one's good. It's just really weird.
All right, let's see what we got here. I'm trying to even figure out what the deal is. Good afternoon, Mr. Brown.
Hi, Middleton. How are you?
I'm good. I'll be with you in just a minute.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not going to say never, but it is very rare. And he takes this case well. He does laugh a little bit about it at the end after the defendant walks away, but you'll see. It's a little, I don't know.
I'm trying to just get up to speed here, Mr. Brown.
All right, there we go. Heather.
All right, let's call the case. This is file number 23106SM. People versus Aaron Lewis Brown. And I've known Mr. Brown since he was in about 8th grade. The file number is 22. This means this happened in 2022. Joining us here, Mr. Brown, is Mr. Keith Stickley. He's the Chief Public Defender for St. Joseph County. I saw this morning when I got in and looked at the jail roster that you had been picked up last night. And your lawyer is Luke Knopfsinger. And he was here this morning, but apparently the right hand didn't know what the left hand was doing. They could have dealt with this morning, but they didn't. The matter is assigned to Judge Pattison. He's the one that issued the bench warrant for your arrest. And he is caught up in a difficult domestic relations trial, so he asked me to address this. So let's start at square one here. You were charged back in 2022 with a domestic assault on your mother, Anita Green. And that warrant was issued in 2022. You got arrested, you posted a bond. Attorney Knopfsinger was appointed to represent you. They had a pretrial, you continued your plea of not guilty, and they set a final pretrial before jury, which was set for January 19th of 2023. You failed to appear, and Judge Pattison issued a bench warrant for your arrest. And as I indicated, your lawyer, Luke, was here this morning, and even I dealt with him this morning. If I'd known about it, I could have, I guess, addressed it. Anyway, I knew this warrant was out there. Last year, I had downloaded every unserved domestic violence warrant, and there were a lot of them. Many of them have been either dismissed or finally served. I guess the question I want to ask right now is, how did you get arrested last night?
Okay, first of all, that wasn't my mother. That was, her name is Anita Green, with those allegations that I allegedly struck her. My mother
is that your aunt?
She's my mother's twin sister, but my mother Elisa passed away.
All right, I went to your mother's funeral.
Yes, Elisa's my mother.
So, all right, I'm sorry. So this is your aunt Anita. All right, I got it backwards.
Unfortunately.
All right, so the complainant is your aunt. All right, so let's not get into the facts so much, but you didn't show up back in January of 23, and Judge Pattison issued the bench warrant. So he set the bond at $2,000 cash or surety. How did you get arrested last night?
So I was up in Meltrotter. I got date raped before I came back up to Michigan, and that's when all that happened at Anita's house. So I ended up going up to Meltrotter Ministry back in February 1st. So before that, I went to my court date, met with Luke in November of 2022. It was either right before Thanksgiving or right after Thanksgiving. And when I talked to him, I said, when is my next court date? He said, I don't have one for you. He's in his exact words that I do not have one for you, but I will be in contact with you at some point. I said, okay. I still have an address down in Florida, and I do travel quite a bit. And so do you have a specific...
The address they had listed is 314 West Broadway, and that's your aunt's house, correct?
Correct. That's not my address.
All right. Well, let's go back to my original question. How'd you get arrested last night?
Okay, so I got arrested.
Back to my original question. How'd you get arrested? See, what had happened was it was a long night, very stormy. You know, back when I was 15, this incident happened. Just answer the question, man.
Tuesday in Grand Rapids.
All right. You're missing our price.
The what?
You're missing art prize.
What art prize?
Oh, it's that big art festival they have in Grand Rapids every other year.
I'm an artist. I would love to go to something like that, but since this is taking up my time with false
All right,
allegations.
well, I'm still trying to figure this out. So were you at Mel Trotter in Grand Rapids this week?
Yes, I've been staying up at Mel Trotter trying to get out of Michigan for the last year and a half. And due to some manipulation and human trafficking and some other stuff, I went to go fill out a police report that has been basically some people raped me back in when I was in high school. And so nothing has been done about that. There's been decapitated heads that were in me and my mom's houses. People cut these people's heads off. They put them in our houses, and we tried filling out a police report and stuff like that. Members of Palco, which is a fabrication company, they're like chopping up bodies and everything. It's all, I know the people who did it. So your question is, how did I get arrested? I go to One Monroe Center on Tuesday morning to fill out a police report, and they said I had a warrant for my arrest for missing a court date. Mind you, a week ago, no, 2 weeks.
Stickley's face was priceless when he started saying that. He was like, you could tell he was kind of listening, but probably working on a different case. And the second he said that, he just looks up and he has that smirk on his face. Like, yeah, we all saw it, Stickley. We all saw it.
Ago, I had some officers come in, Deputy Cedric Wyrick and his sister Katie Wyrick, which I know very well. They came and talked to me about just doing some counseling and stuff because I was poisoned. I was telling them what was going on in my life and that I need my inheritance that my mother left me. So they flat out told me, you do not have any warrants, because there was some stuff that happened in Florida and in RJ's that I got arrested for no reason. And so I was under the impression I had 2 warrants for false arrest. I can get into that if you would like me to after I get done with this. Just let me talk for just a second.
Aaron, I'm just trying to figure out what to do bond-wise. Unfortunately, they didn't address this morning when your lawyer was here. So Mr. Stickley is the chief public defender. He doesn't know any of the details of the case. He's just to make sure that your rights are protected here at this hearing. So your residence is presently Mel Trotter Ministries?
I was staying up there so I can get back down to Florida, but my current address is 1652. I came up here because I had to get my inheritance, and I'm looking for my money that my mother left me, which is probably $12 billion. And so
I know your mom. She wasn't that rich.
Wealthy. We don't like saying rich, but wealthy.
Okay, Aaron, are you getting any mental health treatment? Are you seeing anybody at CMA at Kent County?
Yes, I went to go see not Azariah, Uriah. We had a counseling meeting 2 different times. I went and seen Godfrey up at Mount Charter Ministry 2 different times, and they passed me and said I was good to go.
Are you on any medication?
No, just water.
What? Are you on any medication? No, just water. We still don't know how he got arrested last night. He's talking about chopping people's heads off and, human traffic. But yeah, never told us how he got arrested. But he's worth billions. Allegedly.
All right. Well, we need to get this case back on track. Right now, you're living in a ministry shelter kind of place. Mel Trotter's been around for years and years. Your address is Tampa. I'm going to reset this, the final pretrial, for next Thursday, which would be September.
Is she, because it was on video that she straight up said, I lied on this police report. So I don't know if they had it.
I don't know any of that stuff, Mr. Brown. I know your
Yeah, so
aunts,
she's
I
been
know your
off the base
brothers,
before.
I know your cousins, your grandma, your grandpa. But you're not in the greatest of shape right now. I'm gonna reset this for next Thursday at 1 o'clock with Attorney Luke Knopfsinger. And I'm gonna leave the bond as Judge Pattison said it.
I did not see the second hearing. Now, it being Sunday, this is just kind of cleaning out my court folder. So this is, 3 weeks old, maybe. And I did not see the second hearing. Lone Wolf's here, though. You sounds like you saw it. So you can tell us what happened. I don't have it. I don't know what happened.
$2,000 cash or surety. Are you in contact with any of your family down here?
My grandmother, I have to take care of my grandmother. So I came back up here to take care of her and get her out of this disastrous living situation that she doesn't like and I don't either.
Well, then set it in front of me at 2 o'clock. Judge Pattison won't be here next week, and I don't want you to sit here for 2 weeks till we resolve this. I'll set it in front of me.
Go over to Keystone.
Well, Aaron, Mr. Brown, I'm not comfortable with you just being homeless out here in the county. I'm setting this as soon as I can, which is next Thursday. Oh, here's Luke right now.
Judge, I was in the.
Bless you.
I heard it's, yeah, so I get the sense you want to set it for sometime next week.
Yes, go ahead. Aaron, your attorney, Mr. Knopfsinger, just came in to join us. He heard this, he was in the building. And I'll set this as soon as he's available, although we have to consider the prosecutor too. Judge P is not available next week, Thursday, Friday. I don't remember what the deal is, but I can do it with Thursday final pretrials at 2.
Okay, and I can, if you take the case, I can make it work on Thursday, Friday. I also would have some time Wednesday morning too, so I could coordinate with Judge Pattison or.
Well, I don't know when Judge Pattison's leaving, but we also the prosecutor's gotta give victim notice and, I see your aunt around. I think she still works at CMH.
I do not talk to that woman at all. I have nothing to say about her. I don't talk to her. I have said my piece. I haven't talked to her since I left there in handcuffs and didn't want to stay there in the first place because that house needs to be condemned. The city needs to take it from them, I think. But I don't talk to that woman. I do not like her. I don't like her husband. I don't like her son.
All right, well, I'll leave it at that. Boy, I'm not good Wednesday, Luke. So let's just leave it now for Thursday at 2. I'm gonna ask Lisa Iantelli, who's our mental health liaison, to meet with you, Aaron, see what the deal is, and see if you need some further treatment or some medication or what. The prosecutor needs to get time to get a hold of your aunt and see what her position is on this. Maybe they just want the whole thing to be over with. But for now, I'm going to leave you right where you are. Come on in. Mr. Knopfsinger is going to be available then, and I will see if I can get someone from mental health to talk with you.
Okay, I really just need my finances because I have my eyes on a $13.1 million house that my mother is trying to gift me with what she left me with my grandfather, my inheritance, my trust fund, and somehow it's nowhere to be found from after it was placed in Greenleaf. So that really upsets me.
Well, I imagine so. Where is this house?
Lake Tahoe, Tahoe City, California.
Well, okay. I don't think we have a house in St. Joe County that's worth $13.1 million. All right, Mr. Brown, I'm going to ask Lisa from mental health to come meet with you and I would rather I didn't have this case since I know everybody, but I know everybody anyway, so I don't know what the difference is. So I'll be seeing you next week, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you, Mr. Stickley.
Tell the family I said hi.
Okay. Who have you got with you?
Natalie Welch, Judge. I have a surprise for you.
Surprise. Mr. Stickley, I guess you're good to go.
Okay.
Luke, unless you want to stick around for this. That's what I said. You never know what's going to happen on a Friday afternoon.
Luke is very capable. I will step.
Well, I knew his mother, but I didn't think she had $12 billion.
16 billion.
16 billion. I guess you never can tell.
He shouldn't
Sometimes
blow it all
people
on
are
that house.
quietly,
All right. See you. Have a
quietly rich.
See you, Keith. Judge Natalie Welch.
All right, Judge Middleton. I didn't want to take this case because I know your entire family, but I guess I know everyone anyways. That's true. It's true. Lone Wolf. I tried to look to see where the video is. I'm guessing you have it bunched in with a couple other videos because it's not on the thumbnail. At least his picture is not on the thumbnail, so I couldn't find it. But here I am posting the link to Lone Wolf's channel. So if you guys haven't checked out Lone Wolf, go check him out. He has part 2 of that. I just couldn't quickly find it, and I don't want to, spend 20 minutes jumping through videos to try to find part 2. But if you guys want, I will play part 2 tomorrow night. I can always do that, or you guys can go check it out yourself. But if you haven't checked out Lone Wolf's channel, you definitely should go check him out. Okay, let's move on. I don't remember what's next. Let's see.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
This one's weird and interesting at the same time. Not like the last case, just cat fight over a dude. That's essentially it.
State versus Joshua Lanir, 24 CR 58. Mr. Randall's appearing on Mr. Lanir. Mr. Randall?
Yes, Your Honor. Making an oral motion to withdraw his attorney and ask that new attorney be appointed. Mr. Lanir and I have spoken a couple times. Also, Mr. Marzinski has sent over a plea offer. That was discussed with Mr. Lanir last time. We also spoke again today. Without going into details, as I believe there's a violation of attorney-client privilege. It's quite clear from talking to Mr. Lanir.
Is Mr. Lanir with us? I don't see him.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
So,
turn on your camera.
I don't know. Okay.
All right, sorry. I've got 2 in a row in this courtroom. This one is not the cat fight. The cat fight's the next clip. This is just a guy who FAFO, you can't talk to your attorney a certain way, and he found out the hard way.
And so, Your Honor, again, without
Hey,
going
what's up,
into any
Walter?
of the details of what we discussed, because that remains privileged, it's quite clear that Mr. Lanir is not happy with my services. There were some accusatory issues, and I do not believe I can competently represent him any longer. And I do believe that he would be better suited with new counsel. And also, I would think it would help Mr. Lanir to have a new attorney look at his file and give him a different perspective. For those reasons, Your Honor, I'm asking to withdraw and have Mr. Lanir appointed new counsel.
Mr. Lanir,
Yes.
you object to that?
I don't object to it. I just don't understand. It seems like he's firing me. I mean, but he said I don't understand why he doesn't want to be my attorney, basically. But I mean,
Okay, so you're telling me you're fine with Mr. Randall being your attorney?
well, I mean, I just don't. I just made a comment to him is all, and I mean, I just don't see how that would make him not want to represent me. But
Did you accuse him of something?
I didn't accuse him of anything. I felt like I wasn't being, like things wasn't being looked at, fairly or whatnot. I mean, like it should be. But I didn't accuse him of anything. But either way, we're not supposed to. I guess we're not supposed to. I don't know. Just whatever he sees fit. That's fine.
Anything else, Mr. Randall? It doesn't sound like he's was expecting this.
He should be expecting, Your Honor, because I told him and we discussed it on the phone. And in regards to the accusations that obviously I wasn't fighting for him and that I hadn't reviewed things and there were some other things. But again, I didn't want to go too deep into detail because I don't want to violate that confidentiality. But as far as his expecting it, Judge, it was made very clear to him today. And it was discussed.
I'll grant the motion to withdraw as attorney. And I'm going to appoint Elena Sparza to represent him. I'll need to continue this to October 3rd.
I was holding my tongue when you said hello, non-football fans. The only reason I'm going at 5 instead of 8 today is because the Bengals play tonight. So yeah, the reason I'm early is because I'm a football fan. But the Lions were winning last I saw, but I haven't looked since about 4:45. I think they were only up 7-3. So it could have changed a lot since then, but they were looking good so far.
At your new time will be 2 o'clock, okay? 2 p.m. is when you're going to appear.
Yes, sir.
You'll need to contact her. You'll need to get the contact information from the clerk's office, make and keep all appointments with Mrs. Sparza, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. You know how to call the clerk's office, call the Sumner County clerk's office, get that contact information. You can call them or appear. They can give you the contact information, but make sure you contact her well before next week, and we'll see you October 3rd at 2 p.m., okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
State versus Shanda Zinn.
All right. No, they're up 17-3 now. That's awesome. I've kind of become I guess a closet Lions fan. I've always kind of had a soft spot for the Lions because they've always been, not always, but they have kind of the same streak as the Bengals, where we're just not very good for a long time. Then we'll have a couple years where we're decent, and then we're not good for a while. So I've always had a soft spot for the Lions, but now that I've spent so much time in Detroit, and I've got a lot of friends that live in the area or Lions fans, I'm steadily liking the Lions. So I do wish that I do hope they win every Sunday. What else? What was I going to say about that? Oh, also, I'm playing Judge Fleischer this week in fantasy football, and he's got Lamb. So, yeah, if you guys can keep the Cowboys to 3 points, I would very much appreciate it. Can you let the coach know, or at least the defense know, that they need to stop him? I would very much appreciate it. Okay, like I said, I forgot I put that clip in. This is Judge Mott's, by the way. I don't remember where he's out of, but I know it's Judge Mott's. And I believe this next one is the exact same courtroom.
All right.
Yep. Now this is the case I thought it was. This is the cat fight. Okay, let's go.
State versus Colin Huftaling, 24.
Your Honor, could we wait to take that on and deal with Jasmine Morris? It's a disorderly conduct charge. She's prepared to plead to that judge.
All right. State versus Jasmine Morris, 24 CR 198. Mr. Hang.
May it please the court, Your Honor, Jasmine Morris appears in person with counsel Bach Hang.
Mary Marchansky on behalf of the state, of course.
One count of disorderly conduct, and it says one count, but it says count 2 as well. But interesting. Okay. Mr. Hang.
Your Honor, it was originally presented to me as a battery and a disorderly. I don't know why my system generated it that way, but.
Okay.
Your Honor, I thought this was one count of disorderly. I did tell Mr. Marchinsky's office ahead of time that she was prepared to, that Ms. Morris was prepared to plead to the disorderly charge.
Yeah, we're good to go.
All right, Ms. Morris, is that what you want to do? Plead to disorderly conduct as alleged in
the disorderly conduct, yes, but the other I was unaware was even on the paperwork. I received a paper and it had only said the disorderly conduct charged. I'm just confused on that.
That's all that's on there, ma'am. It just says count 2.
Okay. Okay, I misunderstood. I'm sorry.
Well, it's confusing, I'm sure.
Yes, this is the first time I've ever been in trouble.
Okay. All right. Well, we got some stuff to go through. I'll give you a chance to speak in a second, but just wanted to make sure you wanted to plead a disorderly conduct, and that was your wish here today. Is that correct?
Yes, with the hope that I could possibly get it as like a fine or something because I am
We're not there.
okay.
You'll have a chance to make your pitches for disposition when that's done. Okay?
Okay.
I just need to make sure you understand your rights, all right? So I'm gonna go
Yes.
through those with you. But first of all, you need to understand that the maximum penalty for disorderly conduct is up to 30 days in jail and up to a $500 fine. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All righty. Before I can accept your plea, I must be satisfied you know your rights and understand the effect of a guilty plea on those rights. You understand you have a right to a trial in this case.
Yes.
And if you wanted a trial to a jury, you'd have a trial to a jury. And at trial, the witnesses must testify in open court and in your presence. You have the right to have your attorney cross-examine, that is, question any witnesses appearing to testify against you. You may present evidence on your own behalf and subpoena witnesses if you want to, but you're not required to do that. And you have the right to either testify or not testify, whatever you decide. You are presumed innocent of these charges before the court or a jury, or this charge. Before the court or a jury can find you guilty, your guilt must be proven by the state beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand all these rights?
Reread the last one again.
That before the court or a jury can find you guilty, your guilt has to be proven by the state of Kansas beyond.
Watch her attorney. Her attorney gets a little frustrated with her every time she talks. Not every time, but he's not good at hiding his facial expressions.
A reasonable doubt. That's the last one.
Yes.
All right. Do you understand all the rights I've gone over with you here?
Yes.
Do you understand that by entering a guilty plea, you're waiving your right of trial to a jury or a judge?
That I actually did not know.
Well, you're not going to plead guilty and then we go have a trial.
Right, yeah.
Understand that, right?
Yes.
So that's what I'm explaining to you. If you plead guilty, there's no trial, because that's the purpose of a trial, to either have the jury determine or the judge determine if you're guilty or not guilty. That's what a trial does. And if you waive all your rights to cross-examine witnesses and put the state on its burden of proof, and you plead guilty here today, you don't have a trial.
Okay.
Yeah, you understand?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're at that point called arraignment where you plead guilty or not guilty. If you plead not guilty, I'll set it for trial. If you plead guilty, we'll move to disposition, where you were kind of wanting to do that earlier. Tell me what you wanted to tell me and what you wanted the penalty to be.
I was kind of in hopes for
I'm not there yet.
I thought you were asking me to go ahead. My bad. I'm also kind of out of it this morning. I had to take some Dayquil because I've been sick all week.
Okay. Well, that was going to be one of my questions.
Your Honor, can I have 2 minutes with Jasmine, please?
Sure.
All right. I'm pretty sure I did fast forward this.
All right. There's the room.
I hope so. Yay! Let's go, Eddie.
Your Honor, we're ready to proceed on Jasmine Morris's case when the court is.
All right. When she shows, yep, there she is. All right. Miss Morris, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you understand that by entering a guilty plea, you're waiving your right of trial to a jury or a judge?
Yes, sir.
Also waiving the requirement that that jury or judge find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt if you plead guilty. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Have you had plenty of time to fully discuss this case and your plea with your attorney?
I think pretty much fully, if not almost.
Do you need some more time to speak with him now?
I think he's ready to move on with this. He's yeah.
I'm not asking about him. I'm asking if you're ready to move forward with this plea.
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you need more time to, or can we just set this for trial, or do you need more time to discuss the case, or what's going on here?
I'm not entirely sure. I would kind of like to just go ahead and move on with this. It's
Move. What does that mean? The plea or you want
like, yeah, it's the plea.
the plea? Okay. All right. Have you had plenty of time to discuss this case with your attorney?
Yes.
Okay. Are you satisfied with his legal services?
Yes.
All right. Other than the plea agreement, has anyone promised you anything or threatened you with anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol or drugs right now?
No, sir.
What about the Dayquil?
Well, yes, the Dayquil, yes.
Okay, so you got an over-the-counter Dayquil.
Yes.
Now it's not NyQuil.
No, it's Dayquil. I did take some NyQuil at about 2:00 in the morning, but that was 2:00 in the morning last night.
Is the Dayquil affecting you negatively?
No, it's more so I think I have a sinus infection and it's creating pressure in my face, and I felt like this for a week.
Okay. You feel like it's you're making a knowing and willing and intelligent decision here today?
I'm hoping so.
Okay. Is the Dayquil affecting you negatively to where you can't understand what's going on?
No, sir.
All right.
Something is. I'm not saying she's on anything. I'm just saying she clearly doesn't really understand what's going on. I don't know. Out of caution, if I were the judge, I would put this out. I would give her a week to actually sit down and talk to the attorney when they're not, on the record or sitting in court. She needs some more time.
Let's try this. To the charge of to the only count in the complaint, disorderly conduct, how do you plead?
Guilty, sir.
All right. It's alleged that on or about July 13th, 2024, here in Sumner County, that you engaged in brawling and fighting with Jessica Herman, which led to law enforcement involvement, and that you did that, and you alarmed, anger, disturbed others, or provoked assault or other breach of the peace by engaging in brawling and fighting, that you knowingly did so. Did you knowingly engage in that brawling and fighting as it's alleged in the complaint?
As it's alleged, no. But yes, there was a fight.
He's the prosecutor. That is kind of funny. I can see it. I see it. That's kind of funny.
Okay. What do you mean as it's alleged? What's wrong with the complaint?
Your Honor.
Yeah.
Ms. Morris, you and I have talked about what the charges are, or what the charge is. If you're not agreeing to the charge as it's stated, that means you want to have a trial. So.
Okay.
Could you ask that question again, please?
It's alleged on or about July 13th, 2024, that you unlawfully and knowingly alarmed, angered, disturbed others, or provoked assault or other breach of the peace by engaging in brawling and fighting with Miss Herman, which led to law enforcement involvement. Did you do what it's alleged you did here in Sumner County in the complaint?
Yes. What threw me off was
It's okay, Ms. Morris. We don't need an explanation, Ms. Morris. You and I can talk about that later.
I was asking what it meant when he first read it off to where it said the other people, like it affected other people. As far as I was aware, it was only me and Miss Herman that were out there at that time.
Understood. Your Honor, I've talked to Ms. Morris about this. She understands what the charges are, so I just would caution her that anything else she says, I think she should remain silent and allow me to speak on her behalf.
All right. Did you call law enforcement?
No, Miss Herman did.
Ah, okay. Were there other people watching?
No, sir. It was just me and Miss Herman.
Is that correct, Mr. Washington?
I'm sorry.
Is that correct?
I mean, she's acknowledged fighting with Miss Herman. I've charged her with fighting, engaging in fighting or brawling with Miss Herman, and she's acknowledged that. So I think a factual basis has been made. I don't know how many witnesses were present. I know that as a result of the two of those girls fighting, law enforcement got called. So
I guess alarm or disturb others. I guess the others can be that was alarmed to disturb and be Jessica Herman.
I presume
That'll be the finding then, in order to make a factual basis that, from the facts I know of. Based on the statements, I'll find that the plea has been voluntarily and intelligent entered, and there's a factual basis for it. I'll accept it. A judge, Ms. Morris, guilty of disorderly conduct. Do you, Ms. Morris, know of any legal reason why I cannot now impose sentence? Or should not?
No, sir.
All righty. State's recommendations with regard to sentencing?
Judge State's recommendation here is to $100 fine and court costs, attorney's fees if the court believes that they're appropriate. Basically, this is a situation where these two young ladies were fighting over a young man named Mr. Trey Calloway, who we had the pleasure of seeing earlier this morning on the court. It was again, and it was presented to me on both Miss Herman and Miss Morris for battery on both. I determined that I didn't think that there was a valid battery charge against either one. I felt that both of them were engaging in fighting or brawling over this young man. Miss Herman is the ex-girlfriend. Miss Morris is the new girlfriend. I don't think probation's appropriate. I'm not asking for an underlying sentence. I'm simply asking for an appropriate fine, court costs, and attorney's fees. And I would note that I have charged Miss Herman identically, and I've given her the exact same plea offer through her counsel.
All right, Mr. Hang.
Your Honor, we would ask for a $50 fine and court costs, Judge.
All right, very well. Ms. Herman, do you wish to make a statement on your own behalf and or present any evidence in mitigation of punishment? Do you hear me, Miss Morris?
You said Miss Herman.
I'm sorry.
That's what threw me off. I am so sorry. Yes, sir.
I'm asking if you want to make any statement on your own behalf or present any evidence in mitigation of punishment.
Either which way, both works for me. The $50 or the $100, it both works. I can pay it either way.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Your attorney just advocated for you to pay 50. The prosecution was did the prosecution offer 100? I'm guessing that's where she got. Just I don't care. I'll pay either one. You decide, Judge. The attorney's like, what am I even doing here?
Do you have a job?
No, sir, but I am looking. I do have kind of an under the table job that I'm mowing lawns.
Okay. I'll fine you $75 or to pay court costs. Are the attorney's fees above or below 1,000, Mr. Hang?
Below, Judge.
All righty.
Sir, please. Every time you open your pie hole, you get it worse trouble. So stay the course, will you?
When can you pay all this off?
Pretty ASAP.
Okay.
Judge, can we do 60 days just to be safe, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
I have a question. How will I know? Do I come up to the courthouse to pay it, or?
Hey, Jasmine, I'll talk to you about that. Let's just get through this, please. I'll talk to you about that.
Okay.
I pay it on or before November 21st. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And that's this year, 2024. If you don't pay it, it'll be sent to collections, okay?
Okay.
Last thing, you may appeal the sentence if you feel it's imposed contrary to law, and you have 14 days from today of which to do that, and an attorney to help you with your appeal at no cost. Up to you. All right, this hearing is concluded.
All right.
Thank you.
That attorney was taking a deep breath real quick. Right after that, he's like, "Oh my gosh, please, can the next person just say guilty or not guilty, and let's move on." All right. I think we're going. Is this the last clip? I don't remember what it is. Hold on. Let's see. Let's tease a little bit. Yes. Good old Judge Webster. This is the follow-up. Now, this lady is out there. I don't know if I specifically covered her in her first couple appearances. I know other channels have. She kind of made some sovereign citizen arguments during her first appearance. She's kind of backed away from that since then, though. So I'm not calling her a sovereign citizen. Some people did during her first appearance, and I don't remember why. Maybe she was using a script. I don't know. I just remember she was out there, and yeah, this isn't any better. Not really any better.
Wuerth.
Remind me, that's an H, right? Yes.
I'm wondering if she is still in an earlier break. Well, no, she left that breakout room, I thought.
Anybody know where Miss Wuerth went?
I actually had to put her in the waiting room because she was being disruptive with the chat.
Getting disruptive with what?
On the chat.
Oh, yeah, sending out chats. Okay, let's see if we can get her back. There she is. All right. Now, Miss Wuerth, you can start your audio so we can hear you. Click on the little red thing that looks like a microphone.
It's their Zoom chat. So in Zoom, there's the chat option on the side. So you have your video, and then you have the private chat. So you can private chat people, and then there's a public chat for the meeting. So I'm guessing she was nonstop in the chat for whatever reason.
Phone with the line through it.
Okay. Hi.
On the record in 2022, CR 458, State of Kansas versus Kristen Nicole Wuerth. Please announce appearances.
Jared Regier on behalf of the state, Your Honor.
Joshua Andrews on behalf of Ms. Wuerth, who is also present.
And how does she wish to proceed?
Your Honor, if I understood correctly during my brief breakout room with Ms. Wuerth, she is wanting to pursue the possibility of additional discovery. So I believe she is asking me to request a continuance of the jury trial setting.
Well, what kind of discovery is she not, that she doesn't have that she thinks she needs?
She had indicated that there may be some phone records that would be beneficial to her case, Your Honor.
What kind of phone records?
Cell phone records for the alleged victim and another witness.
Do you have any such records, Mr. Regier, or can you get them easily available or readily available?
Your Honor, I don't believe these would be records in the, my understanding is from, if I understood correctly, these are not records that are in the state's possession, but instead she believes that the phone company would be able to provide these records.
Well, let's make sure Miss Wuerth, I don't want her, if she's got a legitimate defense, I want her to have it. But if she's just going off on a tangent, I don't want that. The burden is on the proof. The burden or proof is on the defense of the state. The state has to prove that she either harassed someone by a telephone device or she didn't. So I would think that that would have to be records the state would produce. I failed to see what it is that would justify delaying this. This allegedly happened, as counsel knows, September 19th, 2022, 2 years ago, and then we'll have to move it into February. In all candor, Mr. Andrews, you believe these are records that could help your defense, or they're just records she wants?
I cannot answer that based on the brief conversation I had with Ms. Wuerth. My understanding is she believes that it would show it would put the conversation that is the text messages that were provided by the state in a better context, but I've not had the opportunity to discuss with her what pleas are in those records that would put that in that context, so I can't answer as to whether these records would turn out to be helpful to the defense or not.
Well, she's charged with telephone harassment, and just in the time she's been here, she's had to be put in the waiting room because she was so busy.
I forgot that. I'm always I'm always turning off. Let's say this: toggling off and toggling back on closed caption, because it's not always on. Even though I have it on, it's not always on. But sometimes if I toggle it off and turn it back on, it'll turn on. And somehow, randomly, on this day, I turned it to Spanish. I completely forgot I did that. I wasn't even looking either. But yeah, I turned the closed caption to Spanish somehow. I did fix the problem, but I didn't realize that until after this hearing. I think all the videos I grabbed on this day had Spanish closed captioning. So yeah, thank you for calling me out on that. I appreciate it.
Sending everything to us. Here's one that as Mr. Andrews, have you seen these?
I've seen many of them, Your Honor.
Like here's what's this one about 3/21/1957 question mark? Marcella 75 something around 19.9x.
Your Honor, I don't know. Ms. Wuerth has had a competency evaluation already. It was determined that she was competent to stand trial.
Right, so right.
Believe that there were indications that she does have some mental health issues. She is under guardianship.
State's position. Where did she go, Miss?
I have to use. Can I take a quick break, bathroom break? I'm sorry, I'm pregnant. I didn't expect you guys to be back on here so suddenly. My
hold up! I can't hear you. Get back on screen.
Sorry, I didn't expect to be back so suddenly. My caseworker was sitting in my chair to guard the computer for me. I need to go to the restroom if I might because I'm pregnant and I didn't expect you guys to intervene or
Well, I need to get Mr. Andrews back to work. It's almost lunch.
Yeah, okay, yeah, okay.
But okay, so you've got a case manager with you.
Mr. Crenshaw is my caseworker.
What?
My caseworker
Your caseworker's here, and you're pregnant. How far along are you?
26 weeks, I believe.
And are you married to the father?
Are we married?
Right.
No, we're not married currently.
And you don't intend to be?
I don't know what he feels about the situation. I mean, we've been best friends since preschool, so.
Okay, what's his name?
I'd rather just not divulge that information.
All right. Mr. Regier, what's the state's position on this request for continuance of this case that is so old?
Well, Your Honor, in all candor, the state does have some concerns with setting this over yet again. I am showing that previously back in February, subpoenas were issued and witnesses were served for a jury trial setting back on February 7th. Here we are again, and if you'll pardon the conjecture, essentially the same position as we were as well. And I am showing that for the jury trial setting this week, subpoenas have been issued in that hearing as well. So if the court is inclined to set this matter over, the state would request that its objections be noted on the record, and the state is respectfully insisting that the court make a finding as to whether or not such a continuance is to be assessed against the defense in this matter. Beyond that, the state is prepared to proceed to trial.
Mr. Regier, Mr. Andrews, I'm going to do this one like I've done a couple others. I'm going to put you in the stack of no continuance until I figure out, you'll be the fourth, but I'm going to reevaluate after this docket is over and decide which of you will go and which of you will continue.
Yes, Your
So
Honor.
at this point, continuance denied, and then I will let you know based on my evaluation of which one is priority at that time. So
Very
Ms.
good.
Wuerth, you need to be ready to go to trial, and then I will let your counsel know which one of you are going to be the final prime case.
Okay, sure.
Because you could have gotten those records, you could have gotten those back.
Well, I requested them at the beginning of this entire thing, you know, so I don't understand where there was a lag in communication. I don't know if the message didn't get passed from the front desk back to him, or
I don't know
exactly
either,
the
but
communication delay was, but
who is she reportedly harassed, or who did she harass? Who's named as the victim?
Her father, Your Honor.
Her father. All right, I'm going to continue the bond you're on with all existing conditions, and I will let your attorney know if you need to be ready for trial Wednesday or not.
okay, yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
You may go. Mr. Andrews, you're excused too, if that's your last one.
All right, we've got a bonus clip. Our good friend Lone Wolf, he sent me the follow-up to the Judge Middleton case. So we've got one more clip to play. Thank you so much, Lone Wolf. I appreciate it. I'm going to once again drop his link in the chat. If you are not subbed to him, you guys are truly missing out. He's got a really good channel, and he's got a cute little wolf that hangs out with you while you're watching it. And I will call the wolf cute because he sure isn't. I know. I'm not funny. All right, let's get this up. Let's see. I gotta do this a different way. Let's see how fast I can do this. Lone Wolf. Now it disappeared. Oh.
Hello, Mr. Brown.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Have a seat. I don't know if you got taller since the last time I saw you, or I got shorter, but
Luke mentioned the same thing. I don't know where I'm getting this height from.
He says he's 6'3". He's not 6'3", Judge. It's not.
no, I think add a couple inches. Anyway, this is People versus Aaron Lewis Brown. The file number, this matter is almost 3 years old or 2 years old. It's alleged to have occurred in October of 2022. Mr. Brown is charged with domestic assault against his aunt, Anita Green, his mother's sister. Mr. Brown has been out of the county. I think he told me he was in Florida, and then he'd been living in Grand Rapids. We did an arraignment last week, and thank you, Luke. I set this on a short turnaround because Mr. Brown was going to be unable to post his bond. I think I saw him last Friday. Judge Patterson was gone, and he's gone again today.
Yeah. Yes, Wolf. I've been muted. I was talking on mute. Yeah, because that's what we do. I made a joke about watching the NFL on mute while I was muted. I don't know if I even said, I don't know when I'm muted and when I unmuted. So I was saying thank you to Lord Loves Law for becoming a new member. I appreciate it. Welcome to the family. Thank you so much, Lexa, for the 8 months. 8 months, that is awesome. And I made a joke about me being deaf and watching all TV on mute, especially the NFL, because I can't turn my TV up. Okay. Now that I had to say them twice, they're still not funny. Still not funny. But, yeah. Okay, let's go.
Anyway, Mr. Rognus then got involved in the case. He wasn't with the office at the time this was authorized, and I believe has talked to the complainant. Aaron, this is a question of we don't exactly know what to do here. You don't live here in St. Joe County anymore. You don't want to live here. You plan to either, from what you told me, go back to Grand Rapids or go back to Tampa. The case is 2 years old. You've been in jail now for 7 days plus the.
Was I muted again? Oh my gosh. Man. I'm just going to let this play out. I'm just failing miserably at life right now. I was saying I always pause it for birthdays. Birthdays deserve a pause. Annalisa Molina, thank you so much for the 8 months. I appreciate it. And thank you for spending some of your birthday with us. I hope you have the greatest day possible. Thank you so much, Annalisa. Isn't that special? Also for 8 months. Thank you so much. Isn't that special? All right. Yeah. Apparently I'm just done. I've got, you know what? I'm just going to stop talking. Let's just play the clip.
Days you did at the front end, which I think makes 9 days total. After I talked to you, I sent a letter to Lisa Iantelli. Did anyone from the jail come see you?
No, they did not.
Well, the problem is she's leaving and maybe she's already gone. Last Friday, I asked somebody to come see you and see what your situation was with treatment and medications and her last day was September 30th. I sent her an email on Friday the 20th. I'm disappointed. Anyway, Mr. Knopfinger, what's your position here?
Judge, Mr. Brown is prepared to make a no contest admission. Agree with the court has said already in terms of the case posture. Mr. Brown is not amenable to a term of probation. All
right. Mr. Brown, let's talk about this. Domestic assault is a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 93 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. There is a kind of probation would allow you to have this charge taken off your record. But according to what your lawyer says, you don't wish to do a probation. By pleading no contest to the charge, you don't admit what happened. You also don't deny what happened, and you would allow or accept that a conviction would enter. You understand?
Yeah.
Anybody threaten you to get you to plead to this charge?
Not to, no.
Like me or the lawyer or the prosecutor, anybody?
No.
Anybody promise you anything?
No.
All right, let's take a look at the factual basis. It's alleged that, where was this? The house on Broadway?
Yes.
Brown the incident occurred 314 West Broadway. He had been living since January. Hit her in the side of the face with your arm, shed swelling, pushed her down, and abrasion on her left hand. And then apparently you left the scene. Did you get arrested right that night, or they arrest you later?
Mm-hmm. Right there.
All right. And where'd you go when you got out of jail?
To Keystone.
All right. And then where'd you go from Keystone?
To Mel Trotter.
And you've been at Mel Trotter since?
Yes. I can't get a hold of my social group that I work with for some odd reason, but I do have some people that are interfering with my life as well. So I consider them stalkers. I have filed a police report in Grand Rapids about.
Well, at Mel Trotter, do you live like in a group living situation?
It's like there's an emergency shelter, and then if you seek like housing and jobs and stuff, you can get upstairs. I got upstairs to the second floor where I had like that orange lanyard, what they call it. And
do you have your own apartment, or you share with other people?
There is a suite.
Okay.
That you share with one other person, with a bathroom and like some drawers.
Well, I am concerned. I don't want you to lose your housing. If they held this place for you, if you go back to Mel Trotter, will you have your place back?
No, I need to get into a house that my mother built, and I also have been looking at property out in California, but I need to recover my inheritance that she left me.
Well, and you talked about that, and that was, I don't think that is true. You said your mother had a house worth several $billion. And as I wasn't just joking, I knew your mother, and I knew the Brown family and the Hunt family, and there's no $1 million fortune somewhere. So I'm concerned about what happens when I let you out, that you're gonna have a place to go to. It took you probably months to get that suite at Mel Trotter, didn't it?
Yes, and they are, they take a while doing stuff like that for sure. I don't know if it's because they're surrounded by people that have been kidnapped up there, or if it's.
Do you get Social Security?
No.
Do you have any source of income?
No, I had like I said, my mother's inheritance that she left me, Jasmine Newberry, and her father stole hundreds of thousands of dollars from me and stole the house that was left in my name. And that is.
Where was that house?
Greenfield Court. Over off of Coon Hollow?
Yes, I remember.
Right next to House Stouffer.
Who's in that house now?
As far as I know, a bunch of dead bodies.
But it still belonged to the Brown family?
No, Robert just sold it and moved to Palmer.
Robert?
Jess Evans, her.
Oh, Jess. That'd be her husband.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but he's quite ill, I understand.
I don't contact those people. They're in that Palco anatomy organization processing bodies, and I do not want anything to do with it.
All right. So let's go to square one. If you're released right now, today, where would you go?
My grandmother's house.
Which is where?
May Ruth Brown.
Well, I know May Brown. Your grandfather's Rochester?
Yes, sir.
He passed away.
Unfortunately.
And where does May live?
Haynes Road.
Who's with her?
I told my uncle Gary Brown to stay with her because Ricky Martin, who he goes by Ricky Brown, but that is not his father, is a nutcase, and he's raped me and my grandmother before, and he has stolen money from me. So I told him to not go out there. And That's just,
So is your Uncle Gary living there with your grandma?
I think he's looking after her, but I haven't talked to her. I told her I keep in touch with her. So when I leave here, I just usually, when I come into town, I just go out there. When I came into town when was it, 2 years ago, she had COVID. So I didn't go out there right away. Instead, I had an apartment, not an apartment, a hotel at the Best Value Inn for 3 months through Keystone because she wasn't feeling too well. So I just went there instead. But I just recently talked to her 2 weeks ago.
Anyone else? Hold on, let me rephrase that. Does it drive anyone else crazy the way Judge Middleton types? Just the one finger type. Every time I see him do that, it's like I just want to teach him to type. I can teach him to type properly in an hour. Just Judge Middleton. It drives me nuts. I don't know. I could be alone on that.
And I was also advised by Joe Biden to come up here as well. The 46th president of the United States of America.
All right. And those are the kind of things that trouble me, Aaron. I think you understand what a trial is about, what your lawyer's function is, and what my function is, the prosecutor's function. And I believe your plea of no contest was knowing and voluntarily. And I believe that you're competent, but you have a bunch of delusional thinking that troubles me. And I'm not unwilling to let you out. You don't want to do a probation, but I want some sort of a plan. I don't want to just have you standing on the doorstep at the jail with nowhere to go and no money in your pocket.
I was trying to get a hold of Mark Lillywhite. He's the close confidant. He's a close relative of mine, former sheriff.
Yeah, well, he actually is still the sheriff. He won't be at the end of the year, but Luke, you're here Monday anyway. I asked Lisa for some help. I'm going to ask her again. I'm going to set this for sentence for Monday, September 30th. At 11. Well, let's set it for 10:30. I'm gonna try to get some help from the mental health advocate at the jail for simple things like getting you a ride from there to your grandmother's, or I don't know whether your grandmother is willing to accept you. I thought she was in very poor health last I heard.
She had a heart attack. I did as well. I've had like 3 different heart attacks from I don't even know what, but there was a point where she wasn't feeling too well, and I take care of her. I mean, it's kind of why I know I told you that I probably was going to go back down to Florida or California. I was looking out there, but wherever I go, she's coming with me. But for right now, I do think it's best that I stay in Michigan for a little bit longer.
But that's unreal. You have no money and no source of income.
No, and I can't stand it.
Yes. Have you ever applied for Social Security disability?
I have not.
I think you would be eligible for some disability, but that's a separate matter. All right. We'll take another crack at this next Monday morning at 10:30. And do you have any contact with your brothers?
Jason is the only sibling I talk to. I don't talk to Jasmine. She's the mass murderer.
So competency when it comes to the court is if you understand the process of what's going on. You can have a lot of mental issues, but that's, the court can, order some exams if you're, on probation or if you're in jail. But when it comes to competency for court, it's just if you understand what's going on with the court process. So that's what the judge was saying, is he understands the charge. He understands what he's pleading to. He understands the process. So as far as the court goes, he does understand that, and a lot of people get that kind of confused, especially like there will be some really intelligent people that are found not competent just because they're, like a sovereign citizen could be found not competent just because, the arguments they make for a court make no sense. So they'll find them non-competent and, force them to get an attorney. That it's happened before, but it's not exactly meaning that you're not competent in the real world. Like, yeah, that's what judge is worried about.
She has confessed to killings over 700 people and processing their bodies. She has confessed it with me and Rebecca Ivins and the two other people. So I just
that's the kind of stuff that troubles me. I know your sister Jocelyn. She hasn't killed 700 people. I know your twin brothers, Jason and Jordan. And so that kind of stuff is troubling to me. But this is in the context of a domestic assault plea. All right. We'll take another crack at this Monday, September 30th at 10:30. See if we can get a
she's
plan.
involved as well.
What's that?
Anita Green, she's involved with that woman, Jasmine Evans, as well. So I do not associate myself with these people. So that's why.
All right. You're good to go. I'll see you Monday.
If there's any way I can get a hold of Mark, they'll be right there to pick me up and send my release.
Well, I'll tell you what, I can't even get a hold of Mark Lillywhite. I've texted him a couple times to try to talk to him about something, and so I don't know what to tell you, but.
You text me, Lieutenant.
Okay. I'm gonna send another request to Lisa and ask her if she can help us with this. I'll CC both of you on the email.
An adult, well, you're right, he doesn't live in this county necessarily.
Well, I'm
All right. That's it. I'm gonna bring back up my other clip.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And yeah, thank you again, Lone Wolf, for the follow-up. It looks like there was a third follow-up to that. So I'll go back and look at his dockets and see if we can find a third follow-up to that. But I just want to say thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Thank you so much, Lone Wolf, for editing that on the fly. He actually didn't have it on his channel. So when he looked for it, he didn't see it. So he threw that clip together real quick so we could play it. So thank you, Lone Wolf, for that. I appreciate it. Lone Wolf's been doing a lot of work on editing for me on the back end. With all my trips to Judge Simpson's courtroom, he's been doing a lot. So Lone Wolf, thank you so much. Please, anybody who's not subscribed to him, you really should subscribe to him. He has a great channel. As much as I tease him, we are friends, so I have the right to give him shit. Okay, that's all I got. You guys are awesome. Thank you for hanging out with me. It is Sunday. I hope if you're a football fan, I hope your football team wins. Unless you're a Giants fan, because my Bengals are playing. I need to stop saying my Bengals, because the Bengals are playing the Giants tonight. So I do not hope your team wins. But have a great week, or have a great rest of your weekend. Tomorrow is Members Monday. I will be doing a Members Monday tomorrow night. I didn't do one last week because I was in court. So, yeah. We are rating Biggin. So make sure you jump over there and say hi to Biggin. Yep, and now I'm just randomly playing. Like I just need to call it a day. my skills are amazing tonight. Okay, you guys are awesome. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, go tell Biggin I said hi. Until next time, bye.